is Friday, May 7. Welcome to CGN News. A migrant rights group in Canada is calling for an immediate investigation following the deaths of several migrant farm workers over the last 2 months. The workers were from Jamaica, St. Vincent, and Mexico. A report in the Globe and Mail newspaper in Canada says the deaths have sparked questions whether Canadian health care providers were regularly checking in with the workers while they were in quarantine. Migrant Workers Alliance for Change, a Canadian organization comprising migrant workers and advocates, described the situation as disconcerting. A coroner's report in Ontario last week called for better protection for migrant workers. Nearly 100 Barbadian Liat workers can expect at least $2,000 from the government to be paid immediately or within a week at the latest. Prime Minister Mia Mottley says she wants to help the displaced workers who are in many instances drowning in debt. She explained that this would be provided for up to 1 year. Officials of the National Union of Public Workers thanked the Prime Minister for the support being offered to the workers by the government of Barbados. The Trinidadian family of a woman caught up in the Windrush scandal can apply for permission to live in Britain without paying thousands of pounds in fees, the High Court has ruled. Charging the family of Lindia Mahabir would be a colossal interference in her human rights, the court said. Mahabir was unable to live in the UK until 2018 because the government didn't correctly record her immigration status in 1970. When she was finally able to come to the UK, she risked being separated from her family because they could not afford application fees of nearly £23,000. Mahabir took the government to court, claiming the financial impact of the fees had separated her from her husband Winston and 5 children. The Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, has urged residents of the region to protect themselves against mosquito-borne diseases even as they battle the COVID-19 pandemic. During the last quarter of 2020, several members reported dengue outbreaks, which placed an even greater burden on national health systems already engaged in managing the pandemic. The Trinidad-based CARPHA noted that the potential for outbreaks to occur and the introduction of new mosquito-borne diseases in the region are ever-present threats. The agency said that as the rainy season approaches, water can accumulate in vases and used vehicle tires, which are typical breeding sites, and an increase in vector populations will further the risk of disease transmission. Cruise lines can soon begin trial voyages in the United States waters, with volunteers helping test whether the ships can sail safely during a pandemic. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention gave ship operators final technical guidelines Wednesday for the trial runs. The CDC action is a step toward resuming cruises in U.S. waters, possibly by July for the first time since March 2020. Each practice cruise must have enough passengers to meet at least 10% of the ship's capacity. Volunteers must be 18 years or older and either fully vaccinated or free of medical conditions that would put them at high risk for COVID-19. Passengers must be examined for COVID-19 symptoms before and after the trip. Restrictions on board will include face masks and social distancing. A girl aged 11 or 12 shot and wounded 2 of her fellow students and a member of staff at a school in the U.S. state of Idaho, police there said. The unnamed 6th grade student brought a gun to Rigby Middle School in the city of Boise and opened fire. The 3 victims are expected to survive, officials said. A female teacher managed to disarm the girl and detain her until police took her into custody. The incident is being investigated by the FBI and law enforcement, the BBC reports. An Australian basketball player has threatened to boycott the upcoming Olympics due to an alleged lack of diversity in a promotional photo shoot. An image released this week showed Australian Olympians and Paralympians in sponsored outfits, but did not feature any athletes of color. WNBA player Liz Cambage later said the photo had been whitewashed. The Australian Olympic Committee has said more should have been done to reflect the team's diversity. Cambridge first raised the issue on her Instagram stories. The Las Vegas Aces player and 2012 Olympic bronze medalist was born in London to a Nigerian father and an Australian mother. As India grapples with its worst ever public health crisis, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is continuing construction of a $1.8 billion parliamentary project, which includes a new home for the country's leader. This decision has angered the public and opposition politicians who question pouring millions into a construction project at this time. The pricey renovation has been categorized as an essential service. Two citizens lodged a case with the High Court on Wednesday, arguing the buildings don't constitute an essential service and construction work could even become a COVID super spreader event. The CNN reports the High Court offered to hear the case later this month, but the petitioners took the matter to the Supreme Court, arguing the lower court had failed to appreciate the gravity of the situation. Twitter has suspended an account sharing posts from former U.S. President Donald Trump's new communications platform. The account claimed to be tweeting on behalf of Trump. A spokesperson for the company said the account at DJTDesk violated the ban evasion policy by sharing content affiliated with a suspended account. The BBC found similar accounts still active on the social media platform. Trump was permanently banned from Twitter in January after he voiced support for rioters who stormed the U.S. Capitol. He launched his own communications platform titled From the Desk of Donald J. Trump on Tuesday. And finally, Jamaica's honorary consul to Scotland, Professor Sir Geoff Palmer, has been named the new Chancellor of Heriot-Watt University in Edinburgh, Scotland. Sir Geoff, an internationally renowned scientist and human rights activist, will assume his new role at an official inauguration ceremony to be held during the university's bicentennial celebrations in October. As Chancellor, he will play a central role in promoting Heriot-Watt's international reputation as a pioneer in research and education across its campuses in Scotland, Malaysia and Dubai. Jamaican High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Seth George Ramakan, expressed pleasure at the appointment of Sir Geoff, who made history in 1989 when he became Scotland's first black professor. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.